The one cool thing that's happening that I've noticed, and probably a few others have noticed, is this home studio thing locally. Lots of people are interested in that. So I started posting these videos, just to kind of feel things out there. But a lot of people have written me about this home recording thing, and a lot of people want to get into just putting their music out there. And when I say put their music out there, I'm saying they're putting it out there, but not just for the Sioux. Because really, the Sioux, I don't think they really care. It's sad to say, your good friends will buy your CD, but in most cases, our local media, they don't care. They won't touch it. And I'm going to get on that subject in a sec. But if what these local bands want to do is they want to put it on their website and let you either download it for free or buy it, and that seems to be a thing that's building here locally, because I know of a lot of bands doing original material, and trying to get it out for the total enjoyment of music to create. You'll always have your cover bands, and sadly there seem to be the same cover bands milking it and milking it. There are some good ones. I'm not going to deny that, but if you're playing that same song for 6 years, time to move on. Either get out of music or find a new hobby, or play music at home, because we can't listen to Bob Seger old time rock and roll for 6 years by the same band and the same part of the set every weekend. It's annoying. It's annoying. It is for me. Okay, I'm going to touch on local media. Local media sucks. That's what I'm going to say. Local media, I'm talking the news media, sucks. I can't figure out, I'm going to say it's a clique, because to get your foot in the door to get anything you do promoted, either you have to pay or you really have to know somebody. But what a horrible thing. And I've had bad experiences, and believe me, the list is long. Some people think it's just me. No, sir. There are tons of bands in this city that have been snubbed by our local media. I don't know what their problem is. There's a reason why all these forums started. And one of those reasons, I can't speak for Rob Figures, but I'll guarantee he'll agree with me that local media is not helping metal music. Local media doesn't help too many local musicians, if you ask me, because there are a lot of bands that are irked by our media. And I'm not going to mention any names of these writers on these forums, like Sue Today and, well, what was Local 2 and our wonderful Sue Starr. It's just really bad. You know what? I would probably be less critical if they actually tried to understand the local music scene, tried to understand that there is more than just one style of music, tried to understand that there are great musicians really doing wonderful things, tried to understand that what they're doing is, by snubbing so many bands, is killing the local music scene, or assisting in it, I should say. They're assisting in it because we know it's not just one thing. But I've had a bad experience with the band Wishbone, and we recorded two CDs. And They even started recording the third. And we got exactly this much promotion from these outlets. We did get one write-up, and they took a chance on us, and I'm not going to mention their name, but them, I gave them all the credit. They took a chance and wrote a small thing on us, interviewed us, and that was great. But the mainstream ones wouldn't touch us with a 10-foot pole. And when you sell, locally, when you sell almost 1,000 copies of your first CD and 500 to 700 of the second one, and they don't care, didn't even get their noses, into what's going on here, there's just something wrong. And they've done this to numerous other bands, and they pissed us all off. Simple. And now it's like, you pissed us off, and to win us over, it's just going to take, it's going to take a lot, because you failed us. You failed the local music scene. And anybody who knows me, I promote my own stuff, and I did promote a lot of local bands. I gave them a lot of promotion. I love promoting other bands, and it has nothing to do with, I'm just doing it as a gimmick. I like these bands that I promoted. I really did. So I mean, the list is long. Anybody goes back to the archives of the old SUNET Musician Central, I promoted a lot of bands that I really enjoyed. And I still enjoy the musicians, even though they've moved on into other projects. I still enjoy those musicians in the projects they're in, and some of them have actually, got the, and for an example, the Water Tower Inn has got this blues thing going, and it's taken off like gangbusters over the last few years. And I give credit to, I think it's Rusty McCarthy who got that going. And the girls involved, like Valerie Polly and Shirley Colmanos, and drummers like Ed Young, have got that whole thing going, and they worked at it, and they molded it. And, it's great. That is what the city needs. I wish they would do it in other venues too. They seem to have tapped into something good there. And I've seen it a few times, and I'm glad, put it that way. It's bringing blues music to other people. But the local media seems to ignore so much of what's around it. I know that there's not a freedom in media like there used to be. Like, when I was a kid, the TV stations used to, they were independent. They could have their own personal programming to do a lot of this thing. I remember us having I forget the exact title of the Christmas cheer concerts on our own local station, and it was great. It had bands playing for the Christmas time through, and all local bands could be on TV, and it was all for a good cause. All gone. It's all wiped out. Because some government thing, says, well, you can't have all this stuff. And and you know what, it went right into the States too, because American television doesn't have independence anymore either. And it killed a huge market there, unfortunately. So you don't get a lot of local stuff from stations anymore. It's not allowed, really. Everything is syndicated from, the main, like CBC television. They govern it all. It's like you can't do anything. It sucks. But anyways, that's not the fault of, or that's not the problem with these local media things, because there are online forums. I mean, you can go on forums and get into the nitty gritty, believe me, but these forums, local news media is horrible. Something's got to change there for promoting music. And The other thing I hate about the media is when they do promote music, they are stuck promoting music in this, excuse me, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm always looking for words. They always seem to stick to their favorite group, and they always promote it. You know, it's like their favorite bar, and then promote it, which sucks too. It's like, come on, you're gonna be a news media thing that's talking about music. Talk about everybody. There's got to be something. You know, the city's got like easily, 300 bands trying to fight for some turf. It's like, you can't walk over and talk about this to this one band. You can't do this for this other band. You can't make a slight mention of this. It's like, come on. Narrow-minded snubbing. Holy moly. That's just pathetic. It's like a music, general term. Music is music. There's stories there. There's stories to be told with all these musicians in this city. There's some good musicians, No wonder a lot of musicians left this city. Because as soon as they leave the city, they seem to get promoted. How's that happen, eh? Yeah, you can go to Toronto and, they're talking about Treble Charger. But who were they when they're in the city? Nobody knew them. You know why? Because the media squashed them. Snubbed them, I should say. Then once they leave and make it famous, then they want to talk about them. Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks. So, yeah. So I have no love for our local media. They have no love for me. So it's a match made in heaven. So that's about it. I know this is a long spiel. It's going to be a multi-part thing. But you know what? We are fighting a lot of negatives. Like I say, we don't have good radio stations. We almost don't have any radio stations. We don't have a TV station. The bar scene, the bars themselves, although there's a few bars that are doing well and sticking to their formula, most are confused and are lost. Then we have special events that favor certain bands every single year. Boring, getting boring, really boring. And then you have horrible, negative people criticizing and attacking, people that are trying to promote it, trying to get things going, and trying to make it a fresh thing. This whole city is based on tourism. It's like, come on, let's try and promote the music thing. If you got everything going, for promotion, start promoting the music and music festivals and stuff. Yeah, so we're kind of in a dark area with our local music scenes, I had to say. I am giving credit to some of the forums that have stuck by and kept it going. That's always a plus. And hopefully now with the merger of Sioux Today and Local 2, we might see a less of the musical snubbing, wink wink, and we hear about more bands, rather than the same four. Yeah, the other thing too is bands have to help themselves. You have to find a way to sell yourself, because no one's going to help you. I mean, our forums try and help you, but we do, even though we have good readership, it is still limited. We have 80,000 people in here. You got to find a way to get their ears to listen to your music. It's up to you to invent the way, because that's why I do these videos and post online, try and get music out there. You can't depend on anybody. You just can't. So I'm giving you this advice. Find a way to do it yourself. You know, it doesn't cost a lot of money. It doesn't. All you need is a camera. You get free websites. Start posting. YouTube. It's free. Start promoting it. You know, it's time to move on. Sault Ste. Marie doesn't want to know, sadly, about its musicians for the most part. It does a select few, but for the most part, no. So it's time to go elsewhere and see if you can get recognized that way. If you just want to play around town and have fun, that is great. There is nothing wrong with that. I have tons of friends that do that, and that's what they're about. But they still have to get people in the bar. And if you're not getting any recognition from someone to help steer those people towards you, you're just going to have your friends and family in the audience, you know, and that's basically it. And that's not always going to win over a bar, you know, unless you have a hell of a lot of friends. But sad to say, you know, we need some very inventive musicians to find ways to get their stuff out there. All right, that's it for now.